So if you want your life to constantly cycle on experiences and more abundance, you have to make space for it, literally and figuratively. Hello Alchemist, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Shantia Crowley. In today's video, I'm doing lesson 5 in my series of Heal, Feel, and Reveal. This series is about helping women to create more vibrancy into their lives. If you want to create something, if you want to be that creative, intuitive entrepreneur that you've always dreamed of becoming, this is most definitely the series for you. If you want to rev up your life, bring some more excitement and flow into your experience, this is most definitely the series for you. So let's get into talking about our main topic today, and that's organizing and prioritizing. Before I get into those topics, let's just go ahead and summarize real quick what this video is going to be about. So we are going to talk about the planning stage. So how do we set our goals? How can we set our goals? And I usually like to approach it in yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily goals. We are also going to be talking about your home space. How do you connect with your home space? How do you help it to flow and function in a way that feels so beneficial to you? And then lastly, we are going to be talking about conscious consumerism. What is your relationship to the things that surround you? Because that relationship to your things immediately impacts how you manifest. So let's start off with this generalized idea. I'd like us to think about this concept as we watch this entire video. Leave space for the universe to solve your problems. Stop trying to be the everything problem solver in your life. Leave space for the universe to solve your problems, because it can, and it most definitely can do it very well and probably better than you. Let's be honest. So when it comes to setting goals and prioritizing, these are 4 concepts that I like to follow. Keep it simple and general. This to me helps to create more movement, motivation, and energy into how I accomplish my goals. If I keep it simple, it's just so much easier for me to get in and get out. Next, manage expectations. Managing expectations, I think, is particularly important when it comes to our self-esteem and our confidence in ourselves. I feel like sometimes people set unrealistic expectations for what they can do. And what I've heard before is either you raise your activity to meet your expectations, or you lower your expectations to meet your activity. I would say in most cases, lowering your expectations or generalizing, which is what I'm going to focus on, generalizing your expectations is what's going to help you accomplish your goals quicker. Third concept is be flexible. Be flexible. Leave space for things to change. If we're so rigid on our structures, again, our expectations is going to be like, oh my gosh, I failed. You didn't fail. Life happens. Flexibility to me is especially important when it comes to not time management, self-management. The last concept is urgency. So realistically, we have to understand that there are some things that have to get done sooner than later. And I think when you put those or prioritize the things that have the highest urgency on your list, it will give you so much peace of mind. And that is what we're looking to really emphasize throughout this entire video, is how do we create a much more flowier, peace of mind, freeing experience when it comes to structure and organizing. There are 4 stages when it comes to setting goals that I'm going to talk about, which is setting the yearly goals, monthly goals, weekly goals, and daily goals. It sounds overwhelming, but you'll find that literally these take 5 minutes. If you just take time throughout your day to get it done, once you knock it out, it just makes your week so much easier. When we talk about the home space, we're going to talk about how do we emotionally connect with our space. Now, if you watch Marie Kondo's Spark Joy series, then you know she always takes a moment to meditate in the space. And this is a real thing. Your space directly connects to and plugs into your emotions. So if you're not creating a space that feels like an oasis to you, and it feels more cluttered and confusing, then that energy is going to feed back into your schedule, into your work life, into your personal life. Creating a system when it comes to your home space is also very important. Everything should have a place. So we have to create systems. No matter what, we can't get away from it. And then I'd love to emphasize how we need to do one thing at a time. You need to do one thing at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself. I think immediately we get overwhelmed because we're trying to do way too much. We're trying to think about way too much. And we're trying to find out how do we create more peace in our living experience, in our organizing and prioritizing experience. When we talk about conscious consumerism, we're going to, of course, talk about sparking joy with the objects that you surround yourself with. We're also going to talk about how things are conscious. If you've ever looked into quantum physics, you know things are conscious. They're alive. They're moving as we speak. This is moving as I speak. And then we're also going to talk about emotional purchasing and disposing. So let's talk about the 4 stages of organizing. When I set my goals, I always set my goals throughout the year. When you set your yearly goals, you can do this at any time. So don't think just because you're halfway through the year, oh no, I can't set yearly goals. Of course you can set a yearly goal. A yearly goal to me is the general theme or idea that you're trying to achieve. So everything I start new, if I start a new journal, if I start a new month, or I start a new week, I always set a goal for something that's general, like a theme. So your theme can be relationships or partnerships or dating, or it can be financial literacy, or it can be investing, or it could be creative hustle. So these are different themes that you can use for your yearly goals. I would say take a moment and sit down for maybe about 30 minutes and write down, what do you want to do? What's your theme for the year, that your themes throughout the year that you want to accomplish? And then also set a month by month goal. So just write down and generalize, like maybe financial literacy here, maybe I'll start dating here. Now, what I like to do personally is I like to only plan about 3 to 4 months into my year. I will not put the entire plan out because I like to leave room for a lot of flexibility. So things might change, life might pivot, because ultimately my biggest goal is to achieve this one thing. And if I have to pivot my life to achieve that one big goal, I will do whatever is necessary for me to achieve the most important goal. Now, the reason why you want to generalize what you're talking about and stick to themes as opposed to actual numbers is because you want to manage your expectations. If you set a goal for monthly for how much you'd like to make, if that works for you, if that motivates you, you can do that. Honestly, it doesn't motivate me. The more general I am, the more I will actually achieve. And I actually like to leave space for those numbers to be flexible, because sometimes I'll find that there are going to be points in time where I make way more than expected, and there are some times where it's kind of like, okay, it's decent. But I like to leave space for that surprise, because I want to leave space for the universe to come in and to just sort of solve my problems and create solutions where I didn't see any. So after you've set your monthly goals, and maybe just set your goals up like 4 months, your theme and your 4 months worth or 3 months worth of goals, then go ahead and sit down prior to a month starting. If you're midway through a month, that's fine too. Prior to a month starting, I like to sit down and write down, what is my goal or my theme for that month? What do I want to accomplish? This allows me to stay very organized and focus on what I want to do. If I'm too elaborate, it starts to get very confusing. So I'll just pick themes. Now, what I would recommend people doing is purchasing a planner. So someone actually bought this for me a couple years ago, and I had a hard time keeping planners up until I actually just needed it, because I was going insane with post-it notes and writing in my journal, which I'm a huge fan of, just writing things in my notebook or my journal. I started writing things in my planner because it's organized by month. It's so easy to track, oh, what did I do in this month? And what did I do in that month? So at the beginning of each month, typically if you find a really good planner, most planners these days are so detailed and so gorgeous. This is a really simple journal. But at the beginning of every month, this is where they usually leave a section for you to write down your goals for what you would like to accomplish in that month. So you can kind of see in this one, I wrote down April 2022. I choose like a themed idea or a theme title. So I wrote April Sparkle as opposed to April Showers for my April month. And then here I would just write down all the things I want to do. It could be creative hustle, it could be financial literacy, maybe I'm taking a course for my YouTube videos, maybe I'm creating the course for my YouTube videos. So just write down whatever goals you want to start working on right there. And you can write down notes, you can write down inspiration, you can also reflect, which is what I like to do in my notebook, but you can leave a space to reflect on what you did accomplish so you can think about what you'd like to accomplish in the next month. Whenever I do my monthly goals, I kind of make it a ritual thing. For me, because I am a creative, intuitive entrepreneur, I actually love to do tarot. So I'll do like a little tarot spread just for fun, just to kind of see what do I need to be prepared, what's going to be happening in the month. Sometimes you could split it into quarters. You can say in quarter 1, what's going to happen, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Or you could say, what's the general theme? What's the energy I should be embracing? So there are so many ways that you could approach it. And I love tarot. Tarot is so fun because of the oracle cards. I love the colors. I'm a very visual person. So that's one way you could do it. You can light some sage, light some candles, like make it a fun event. What you're doing when you're writing things down, when you're setting your goals, is you're setting intentions. And intentions is so important because you're essentially telling the universe, hey, this is my expectation for what I'd like to accomplish. Meet me halfway. Right? Because we're not trying to solve all our problems. We want to leave space for the universe to come and solve our problems. Because, hello, we're magnetic feminine beings and we're powerful beings. So we get to attract success and accomplishments into our lives. What I'll do is before a week starts, so obviously most journals have like a calendar here. You can kind of see it here. And you can write down whatever your goals are going to be for each day, what you'd like to accomplish, any kind of event that you have that's going on that you would like to prepare for. Preparation equates to peace of mind. Preparation equates to confidence. So preparation is important. When you already know what's going to happen, like you already have an idea of what it's going to look like, then now you don't have to stress about, oh my gosh, do I have an appointment today? Do I have enough time to do this? You already know. I prioritize when I write things down in my journal. I'm not writing every detail down, nor am I writing the exact schedule or the time slot, unless it's an appointment for me needing to get there, because I like to leave space for moving things around. And I'll kind of talk more about my secret into how I go about doing that. Before the week starts, I'd like to go ahead and write down any events, any important things that I have to accomplish. I am an art teacher, so I like to write down if I have to create any projects, or I need any supplies or preparation for any projects that I'm doing with the kids. Write that down prior to the week starting on maybe a Saturday or a Sunday. Just sit down for about 5 to 10 minutes and just write it down really quick, all the things you need to get done. As you're going throughout your day, as you're living your days, right? Always have your planner somewhere nearby or within reach. It was so important for me to have a physical planner and a pen that I liked writing with for me to be consistent with my planner. Okay, so that's how we set weekly goals, is prior to the week starting on Saturdays, Sundays, you sit down for 5 to 10 minutes and you write down whatever you need to get accomplished. You think about that. And then throughout your week, as your week is passing on by, every day I add things. So what I would like to do, and what I would highly encourage you to do, is if you accomplish something that's not on your list, put a check mark next to it. Write it down and put a check marks next to it. What we don't do enough is we don't celebrate our accomplishments, our little successes. This I found really helped with the dopamine. It helped with the excitement and the motivation for seeing myself accomplish things. I realized I wasn't doing that enough. I wasn't checking off the things I was doing, even though I was accomplishing things. And I would look at myself thinking, oh, I didn't do anything. Women, I think, especially have this thing with guilt and shame. We have a weird habit. It's embedded in our DNA to be guilty of unnecessary things. We're the mama bears, right? We care about our tribe. We need to make sure everyone else is doing very good. And sometimes we forget and think about ourselves too and acknowledge ourselves. So make sure you write down things that you did accomplish, check it off. If there's something you didn't accomplish, see if it actually has to get done or if you can move it around. Now, I talked about urgency. If there is something that absolutely needs to get done, make sure you highlight it, mark it in red, put it at the top of your list so it gets done. Prior to your day starting, before I go to bed, I'll check my planner and be like, okay, this is what I'm doing tomorrow. And then when I wake up, I'll check out my planner again. This is what I'm doing today. Now I know exactly how my schedule looks like. I don't have to stress out about whether I can accomplish something or if I don't have time or I do have time. I maneuver things around. Now this is my secret recipe to optimal flow. And that's work, play. That's it. I like to flow between work and play. What I find so interesting about work and play is that there are things throughout my day that usually I would think of as work, feel like play. And there are things throughout my day that I thought were play, but actually feel like work. So I go between the energies of work and play to accomplish my goals. When I fluctuate between those energies, when I feel like, okay, I've been working too much, I need a break, then I'll do something that feels like play. And then when I feel like I've been playing a lot and I feel like I need a little bit more structure infused into my life, I go ahead and I do find something to work on. Like I'll clean up, I'll wash dishes, I'll sweep. That is how I create optimal flow. I don't think about when, I don't think about a perfect schedule on accomplishing it. I just find that optimal flow between work and play. Lastly, keep your goals so simple. A child could do it, a caveman can do it. Part of the reasons why we don't feel motivated to get things done is because we way overcomplicate our goals and ideas, generalize it, keep it so easy. Don't write out the whole entire elaborate plan because you want to give space for the universe to kind of solve your problems. You also want to give space for a lot of flexibility for things to change so that when they do change, you're not putting on yourself all this unnecessary guilt about things not going the way you expected them to. That is 4 stages of organizing: yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily. Let's go ahead and talk about your home space. Your home space is your oasis. So the first thing you need to do, especially in the space you spend the most time with, find the space you spend the most time with, sit down in it, and see how it makes you feel. Does it feel cluttered? Does it feel like it needs adjustment? Does it feel relaxing? Does it feel unbalanced? That's what's going to determine if you can shift things around. Maybe you need to do a little bit of organizing or tidying or rearranging to make that space feel so much more comfortable. One of the first things I did when I moved into my place was I made sure it felt like my oasis. It felt like my home. So the walls in here, some of the walls were like orange, like a burnt sienna orange, and I just couldn't, it wasn't my vibe. I needed light. I needed it to brighten up. So I painted the walls white. I got beige. I got like white beigey curtains and a white bed set and a beigey like blanket for the sofa. I made sure it felt light and bright. I got like a white ivory carpet. I made sure it felt lighter. You can bring in candles. If you're sensitive to smells, really infuse that space, because the way you treat your space is a direct reflection about how you feel like you deserve to be treated. You're essentially saying to the universe, I deserve to feel at peace. I deserve to feel at ease. I deserve abundance. I deserve blessings. So next, you need to create a system. Now, everything needs a system. What I would encourage you to do is give everything a place. I'm sure you've heard of this before, but give everything in your home a place, because you don't have to think. That's what makes organizing and cleaning so much easier, is if you automate it. And if the only way for you to automate it is if you create a system. Everything in your house has to have a place. Assign it a place. Now, if you don't know where to start, just start somewhere. What Marie Kondo recommends in her book is to start by category, not room. And I would have to agree. Start one drawer at a time, or one cabinet at a time, one section of the place at a time, one category at a time. Do not do it by the entire room. Don't overwhelm yourself, because it's going to take forever, especially if it's cluttered. It's going to feel especially overwhelmed. The reason why you do it one drawer at a time is because you're creating a system. When that drawer is immaculate, you will never mess that drawer up again. You just be like, wow, I perfected the system of this drawer. I will never mess it up again. It's a commitment. One thing I think, again, that women have guilt with is mess is okay. Mess, in fact, is feminine energy. Think about an artist, right? Or when you're painting, you're creating, you're making things, your kids are crafting, they're making an explosion of mess. Creativity and mess are synonymous. It happens in life. Mess means life is happening here. Mess means there are people living here. Life is happening. Mess is okay. So if you ever struggle with being at peace with mess, which I don't, embrace it. What you want to do is you want to look for that emotional connection of feeling like, okay, is this too much? Is it now needing to tidy up? When you become sensitive and aligned and attuned to your space, you're going to know. You're going to sense, oh my gosh, I need to clean it up. And if you create a system, like a tidying up system, for example, you can get up every morning, do 30 minutes of just tidying up your entire house and automate that in your routine. You're never going to have to think about whether you want to clean or not. You're just going to do it. One thing I like to do is I connect cleaning to an emotional goal. So I always know that when I clean, it's going to be so fresh and beautiful and it's going to give me so much peace. I like to think about the outcome of that to get me up and cleaning. I never complain about cleaning because I just know if I reset the space, which is what cleaning is and organizing is, if I reset the space, I will feel so much better. When it comes to the energetic connection with everything is cleaning your space and tidying up your space and disposing of things you don't need anymore. It allows for the universe to come and bring new experiences, new energy, new creativity, new abundance, and blessings into your life. So if you want your life to constantly cycle on experiences and more abundance, you have to make space for it, literally and figuratively. When you're cleaning and you're tidying up, take it one space at a time. I truly believe in the struggle-free approach to life. Struggle-free approach. That is what is written down in this description of this series. Struggle life no more. It doesn't have to be hard. It gets to be easy. You get to kind of create and fluctuate. I consider myself a creative, intuitive entrepreneur, which means that, I got ideas, but I'm going to choose and I'm going to sort of maneuver my life according to my energetic flow. So allow for that energetic flow. If you're not feeling pulled towards something, maybe you're feeling pulled towards organizing this area, spicing up this space, then allow yourself to do that. If you don't feel like cleaning something that day because maybe you have a lot going on, give yourself the space to just breathe and take the day off. Our last category is conscious consumerism. Conscious consumerism. In my previous lesson 4, I talked about Oprah and about Oprah's favorite things. Oprah loves things, and Oprah is a wealthy woman. Now, I know most of you guys have heard about sparking joy. This to me is like the easiest way to connect with my things. The reason my clutter builds up so easily is because I think a lot of people aren't sparking joy with their things. In fact, things are getting buried and unseen and covered in dust because you didn't spark joy with them. So they're gone. They're not being used. But things are conscious, and our relationship to our things helps to create a relationship to it. And I know that sounds crazy, but I've had my laptop for well over 9 years, and I love my laptop. I try to make sure I take care of it to the best of my abilities, but honestly, I feel like this laptop is surviving and thriving because I love it. And I know that sounds crazy, but I feel like it is so true. So really think about your connection with your things. If it doesn't spark joy, if you don't need it, just let it go so that you can open up that space for more abundance to flow into your life. What's also great about doing that is you can do the same thing when you purchase things, when you buy things. I don't know about you, but I bought things that didn't spark joy only for me to realize, oh dang, I shouldn't have done that. And then have you ever bought things and then you ended up donating it to Goodwill? Like those things you probably didn't spark joy on. Really think about that because that allows for a lot less waste to revolve around in the world. As we know, our waste isn't going anywhere. We're just building up more waste in this world. So I like to think that when I buy things, I'm going to use it. I'm not just going to be wasteful of it. When I throw things away, I really want to throw away things that have no use. I don't want to waste it. But if I buy something that's quality, or if I buy something I truly like, I'll have a tendency to take care of it and maintain it. Therefore, it won't be wasted. It won't be thrown away. I will tell you for sure, because I've cleaned for people who have a lot of money, is that they take care of their things. They had furniture from the 90s and the 80s. It was crazy, but they maintain their home. They maintain their furniture. They had clothes from the 90s that were well maintained because they took care of it. So take care of your things. Don't keep building up and piling up on more things and more things. If you're going to bring in more things, let go of the old things. Maximize your use on the things you use. Create a conscious consumerist relationship to your things. And that conscious consumerist relationship also translates as an intuitive connection with your things. Your intuition is a guidance for everything. It's not just for deciding whether you love someone or not. It's also for connecting you with everything that you do in your life. When you use your intuition, your other brain, they call the gut the first brain. I feel like that's kind of where the intuition exists, is in that space. When you use your intuition, you're essentially creating solutions where problems could have existed. Okay, So that is the end of lesson number 5 for organizing and tidying. I hope that brings some insight to how you organize, how you tidy up, how you prioritize, and live in your home space. I'm going to go ahead and pin some questions down below that you can answer for this lesson number 5. The next lesson is going to be on food, good food habits. And this is one thing I feel like, strangely enough, people have always asked me about. So I'm happy to kind of finally dish it and put it all in one video and just get it out there. I hope you guys are enjoying this series of Heal, Feel, and Reveal. I'm currently doing a 20% off coupon for my store. Go ahead and check out the description box for the coupon code. Hope you have a wonderful day or evening, Alchemists. Bye.